Hello, let us discuss all the good practices for requirement engineering. Let us summarize all the good practices from all the domains and all point of views. So this is a chart which represents all the good practices. If you look at all the entries, so these entries are from all the good practices from all the domains, which we have already discussed. There are 7 point of views or 7 domains, and from each domain, if you take all the good practices, this becomes a list. Now in this case, we have categorized the good practices into rows and columns. In case of columns, the categories are made based on the difficulty level. In case of implementation, if you want to implement any good practice, how difficult it is to implement a specific good practice, based on that we have made 3 categories: high, medium and low. So high means the good practices mentioned under high are very difficult to implement, and the good practices which are mentioned below low are very easy compared to other good practices. Similarly, in case of rows, we have categorized the good practices in terms of its value. If we implement certain good practice, how valuable that good practice is going to be for my successful project completion. So what is the impact of that good practice? So in this case, high means the impact of these good practices are very high in terms of the project output. They are very valuable. In terms of low, low means the good practices which are mentioned in the low category. They are important, but the impact is not as important as the other good practices. So likewise, we have created a matrix of all the good practices with its difficulty level for implementation and its impact in terms of its value. Now, if you look at this table, you should start implementing the cell which is in case of difficulty level, it is low. That means it is very easy to implement, and value also it is low. That means it is not going to create any impact. So examine problem reports. This good practice comes under low difficulty level and low impact. Likewise, when you start for any new project, my suggestion is to start with all the good practices which are in these 2 cells, because these 2 cells indicate the implementation level is low. That means they are comparatively easy to implement, and in terms of impact, the impact is either high or medium. That means they are important. So the impact is there. Impact is important. They are creating a good value, and these good practices are easy to implement. So for any new project, if you are starting any new project, you should start implementing these good practices which are present in these 2 cells. For example, you can educate the developers about the application domain. Yes, it's a necessary good practice. It will have the high impact, because if the developer is not aware of the application domain, then domain specific things will not come into the solution. Then you can adopt a requirement document templates. Yes, your documentation has to be perfect, and the templates will help you to create proper documentation. Identify user classes. Yes, because if you identify correct user classes, user representatives, then you can collect maximum type of inputs in terms of requirements. You can model the application environment, identify the requirement origins, establish baselines, identify the requirement decision makers. All these are very important good practices which have high impact on the solution or the deliverables, and which are easy to implement. Similarly, in terms of medium, we have create a data dictionary, observe user performing their jobs, test the requirements, track the status of the requirement, perform the document analysis, track the issues which are there with the requirements, uniquely label each requirement, create a glossary. So all these are creating very important impact on the deliverables. Now look at this cell. Now this cell tells us the good practices which are very difficult to implement and which are having very high impact. So you should start focusing on implementing these requirements once you have your basic good practices in place. So this indicates define a requirement engineering process. So we are talking about a process. That's why the difficulty level is high. Base plan on requirements and renegotiate commitments. So these are very difficult things to implement, but all these good practices have the high impact on the project completion. So likewise, this is a matrix which gives you which good practices are difficult to implement and which good practices have a very good impact on the deliverables of the project. Now, it is not a thumb rule, or it is not necessary that you have to follow this matrix only. In your organization where you are working, if you have looked at the past data, and if you think that defining a requirement engineering process in your organization is very easy because your organization is very mature organization. So in your case, this good practice may come in this cell. So accordingly, for your organization, based on past data, based on past experiences, based on past project completions, based on past data which is available with you, you can create your own matrix for your own organization. And then you can follow this matrix for your future projects. So this is a kind of summary for implementing the requirement engineering good practices.